Yeah.
Mitch, nice win for you guys last night. But, as you make your way in the league here, gain more and more experience, how have you streamlined or what are the most important things you have put into your summer routine to prepare yourself for a season?
Wait, I can hear you. What you said?
So just give me a sense for with the more experience you gain, how has that shaped your summer workouts, the things you work on, the things that are most important to you?
Well, the way I did my summer this year, like the space the floor more. You know what I mean? So my guy won't just be standing right there leaning around waiting for our guard to drive and then they can get like a block shot or, trap the ball down low. So really my game I've been working on just like, spacing the floor out.
Next question comes from Mark Berman, New York Post.
Hey, Mitch.
So
How did you enjoy those final 7 minutes playing with, those four other young guys? It seemed like a strong unit. What did you like about that?
I mean the energy that it brought, I mean, it was just great. I mean, quick Emmanuel came in, he came in and did his thing. Obi, continued to keep his pace up. It was just all good all around.
Next question comes from Mike Vorkunov, The Athletic.
Hey, Mitch. I know you mentioned kind of getting your foul troubles into order this season, and that's something that Tom has been talking about as well. Last night he let you play through, I think, 4 fouls in the third quarter. I mean, how are you trying to, I guess, control the fouls and also learn to play through them?
What it is just like we're trying to play hard, but it's like it's a thing that we gotta find out how to really maintain it. Like we gotta play hard, but while fouling, I guess. I don't see how that's kind of possible, but hey, we'll continue to try and just see how it goes.
Our next question comes from Mark Berman. Our next question comes from Steve Popper, Newsday.
Hey, Mitch, just on that foul thing, you've been such a good shot blocker in the league here. Do you have to sometimes realize, you've got to just do something different? You can't go for every shot block. Is that a big part of it, or?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, so some of you just gonna have to be like, well, you got to live with it. You can't just let it break you. But I mean, it's good to try to challenge it. I mean, you can challenge them. I mean, I wouldn't say go for them though. I mean, if like that's really kind of like tough.
Our next question comes from Mark Berman, New York Post.
Hey, Mitch. Yes, I mean, you did get in foul trouble early. You were starting. How was it, the difference starting? And I think you'll probably start tomorrow night because it sounded like Tibbs was going to hold back some of the injured guys. I mean, was starting just a nice thing for you, or how did you approach it?
I mean, no, looking forward to it. Everybody want to start. I mean, who doesn't? But I mean, I just try to come in and it brings a lot of energy.
Next question comes from Rebecca Harlow, MSG Network.
Mitch, with some of the passes that Quickly made, it seems like he already has a good understanding of where you guys like the ball. Are you impressed with how quickly he's been able to figure out tendencies of you guys on the team?
Yeah, very impressed. I mean, he come in, he study hard. Like when we be at practice, I can see him. He locked in all the time. So I mean, for him just to come in and then be able to learn us, like us bigs, that quick, that's just amazing.
Hey, Obi, just that last 7 minutes, we've talked about the young players here, but you guys, 5 of your youngest guys, all were on the floor together. You and Quickly and the 3 others. What was that like? Was that something you enjoyed? Kind of the young guys, the energy.
Yeah, it was great. Like, we're the young guys on the team, and our coach always tells us because we're young, we gotta be those guys to bring the energy. And in those last 7 minutes, like we had to do whatever we can to come back, and we started inching back with Kevin hitting a lot of threes and Mitch getting some block shots. Like everybody did their part and did what they had to do for us to come back yesterday. So.
Our next question comes from Rebecca Harlow, MSG Network.
Obi, we had a lot of fun last night showing highlights of your dad playing street ball, talking about the next generation, that whole thing. Fans love to hear those stories. So is there a story that you can share with us as fans are kind of getting to know you that you think kind of defines who you are, whether or not it's like a childhood story or a story from Dayton? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot here. So if you want some time to think, I can come back around to you, but that's what I'm
Just like
looking for.
any story, just
Yeah, anything. Like just
including
fans.
basketball.
It doesn't have to be basketball. It can be fans just want to learn about you.
So like I would just say like I basically grew up in New York, and my family's been watching the Knicks my whole life. So for me to have this opportunity, it's a blessing. Like my dad played basketball in all the parks in New York. He had opportunities to go overseas, and I had the chance to like watch a lot of his games. So I try to learn from everything that he does on the court, and basically kind of like mimic his game a little bit to help me. So
Next question comes from Mark Berman, New York Post.
So what was the experience like your first game at the Garden without fans, as a Knick? And, just in terms of that lineup, those five guys, you're the oldest of the five. How crazy is that?
for the first question, it was amazing. I've dreamt of playing on the Knicks floor my whole life. So having that opportunity yesterday to play on that court was a dream come true. And for the second question, I don't know how to answer that. I was just the oldest person on that team, so or at that point. So
Next question comes from Mike Vorkunov, The Athletic.
Hey, Obi, growing up in New York, was there a court or several courts just where you grew up playing that are most meaningful to you, or you think kind of I don't know, most resonate in your basketball experience?
I grew up playing at every park. Like I was just like my dad. We would have like 7 games in one day and just travel from Dykeman to Rucker Park to West Fourth to Orchard Beach. Like it was a whole bunch of different courts that we'll play in a day, and it's fun. Like the atmosphere and all those parks is amazing. So
Next question comes from Rebecca Harlow, MSG Network.
And so, yeah, Obi, just to follow up on that, obviously, with a game like last night, you would love for your family to be there because this is such a big deal for all you guys. How are you sort of able, with this COVID stuff, share that with them? Do you watch film with your dad? Do you talk to him after games about what's happened? Like, how are you bringing him into this process?
yeah, so the good thing about me being in New York, all my family's in New York. So it's like I go home to them every single day. And well, I have my own place, but like I visit my mom, I visit my dad. Like I talk to all my family members all the time, and kind of just talk them through the moment of me being on the court and having the opportunity to play in the NBA, because it's like they grew up watching the Knicks, and like for me to be in the position I'm in right now, it's a blessing not only for me but for them too, and so they enjoy it as much as I enjoy it. So I think a
Thank
little
you.
more.